Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Jules, I just want to say first off, you need to change out that intro for Tuesday morning tacos, though.
Tuesday tacos.
You need to make that whole new intro for Tuesday morning tacos whenever I come up.
I
But
want to
good
see you
morning.
to serve it with, like, you put the toilet paper in there. I feel like
I
that
didn't
would
take the fork and you
No,
just
yes,
scrape off
hey,
that.
yes, you put it right in there, and then you know how people put all of the meat, then you'll scrape off all of it again.
Just the flavor we
I
want.
see the vision.
But good morning, Jules.
All right.
We left off.
Straight from the devil's workshop.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay, doing good, doing
Right.
good.
You ready for this spicy tacos?
Yes, it's a heavy serving. It's a
Yes,
heavy serving.
it is.
And a lot
is.
has happened over this weekend.
Yes, a lot has happened. I think we had a history-altering event. I'm not so comfortable with the term mass shooting because it's an Americanism.
Yeah.
And it refers specifically, I believe, to people who are disgruntled with the system or people with some type of antisocial agenda. And certainly these persons who shot up in Wabinaha, in Hopkins, had a very antisocial agenda, but I think it is just related to crime. I believe it is related to narco crime,
Okay.
which fuels so much
Right.
That is true.
of the problems we have in society. So first off, we just have to see at the top. You know, it's such a small and a happy village, Hopkins, right? So it is unspeakable for such an atrocious act to happen in a place like that. It's literally unthinkable.
When I hear the news, I seriously never believe it. No lie, this sounds really bad to say, but the truth, if I ever thought about something like this happening, I would always think about Belize City.
And you know,
That sounds bad to say, but the
of
truth.
course.
I've always had the fear, and that's why I don't go out as much, because there was a place that I had high anxiety. There's one way in, one way out. If they block the door,
Right.
that just that. And in these circumstances, what we understand is that they just burst open the door and just start killing bullets.
And so they did not have an emergency exit. They do have an emergency exit in Wabinaha.
Okay.
They do have an emergency exit, but it was not
Accessible.
opened, right? Because apparently the owner of the club, he likes to keep that closed when he has a heavy night because people try to slide in through there.
Oh, okay.
Unacceptable, obviously. And so imagine the terror of the patrons. You're in a club and shooters, just multiple shooters, start shooting at the door, which is the only exit.
You know, where you going?
Where will you
I
run
can't
to?
even imagine the hysteria where people would go through, like, where do you run? Bathroom? Where
That's
you
the
go?
thing. That's the thing. If they block that exit or that entrance, where do you go?
But
Can't even hide.
additionally, it's a failure of policing. I'm quite reliably informed. We have not spoken with the commissioner yet. Hopefully, he will avail himself today. But so this is a Hopkins Day, Saturday and Sunday. It's Hopkins Day weekend.
Yeah.
So multiple big events. You had
Right.
a dance on the basketball court in Hopkins, and you had Wabina had a DJ, which
Yeah.
was drawing a large crowd. I'm told you only had 4 police officers and 2 special constables at the dance.
Not enough.
No, this is a village council's dance on the court. Violence had already broken out there, a fight, which the police used pepper spray and
Oh,
fired
wow.
as many as 7 warning shots in the air to break up. So the night was already filled with a sense of dread or a sense of violence.
Yeah.
And then in the Wabina nightclub, we know 3 police officers were injured. It's very unclear at this point if they were patrons socializing or if they were there as security. It is very unclear, and we will clarify that. But multiple reports from Hopkins suggest that there were no specialized units there to maintain public order, as is usually the case, right? When you have events like this, you need to have, whenever you have big events,
Huge
You
security.
have to have security.
no, of course, it could be because you have multiple units patrolling in the city because the city is under a conflagration of violence. So we don't know what was the problem, but we know there was not enough security in Hopkins, which enabled this event to happen.
Yeah.
So it's a failure in policing.
So in that case, Jules, I guess let's educate the audience a bit as to the owner of the nightclub. Now we know that there was barely any security. We can't confirm if the policemen that were injured were actual patrons or security. But what about the 15-year-old that got shot?
Yeah, obviously, widespread infraction. And again, where is the enforcement? You know that I'm told that these multiple events in Hopkins, no one searches you when you come in.
How?
It's probably just such a happy village that they believe.
No,
and
no,
Yes,
no place
but-
as peaceful that you can't do the the routine search.
You're in a
You
nightclub
have
with
to-
no exit door.
People drink. Listen to me. Once,
Yes.
once the establishment where there's drinking in any way, shape, or form, you need to search people because guess what? When people start drink,
Yep.
they get trigger happy and they might not have a weapon or they could use a battle. That's how these things could happen. So you have to search people.
Right. And so patrons, I'm told, were not searched on that night. So I'm just saying you have a very ripe situation for violence. 99.9% of the time, violence does not happen. But on this night, an unspeakable act happened, and I think we're still trying to understand. The three suspects have been caught. They are men from Silkgrass, which is a nearby village, probably 5 miles away. We don't know their motive, but we must say that at or around the same time, a Narco plane is landing in Cricasarco,
Exactly.
which is in the Toledo district. I cannot say those events are related, but the near simultaneity, I'm not saying it's simultaneous, but the congruence in times,
Yeah.
right? It's certainly, it raises the concern that it could have been coordinated. We know also that there was recently a property dispute in Hopkins. I do not think that is the cause, but the property adjoining Wabinaha or adjacent to Wabinaha was burnt down,
Oh, wow.
which is Ella's. Ella's is adjacent
right,
to
uh-huh.
Wabinaha. I am not saying
Any relation at all.
is a relation, but these are things that police have to look at. However, this is an unprecedented and unconscionable act. 3 men armed with guns. The place has no exit. The terror is unimaginable. But I want to stress, and we have the picture of the drug plane there, of the narco plane that landed in Cricasarco. Cricasarco is a very remote village.
yes.
It's 40 miles from Punta Gorda. It's not an easy place to reach. So we see, and now we have our monitor here working as well. We see it looks like a King Air, and it already unloaded its cargo, and all of that happened. But the fact is, the police are being pulled right now in many directions, and I want to be very clear. The government does not have the answer. The previous government did not have the answer. I want you all to not grandstand on this and pretend that any of you all could have prevented this.
I love how you call it out from the get-go.
Because we know the cycle.
Exactly.
If UDP were in and this happened, PUP would say, well,
Yeah,
it's all because
exactly.
of my
Exactly.
perfeito, it's all because of this one. It is not because of the politicians. They and the police, they're virtually powerless
Right.
to stop these events. That's real. Yes, we should have had more specialized units there, etc. I'm just saying. But I'm talking about the entire tone of violence in the month of July,
Yeah.
which followed up from June. Again, a dozen or more murders. I am saying that what we are dealing with is, and I brought out the dictionary definition, a wicked problem. This is a term used in social planning. A problem that is difficult or impossible to solve because of the incomplete, contradictory, and changing requirements that are often difficult to recognize. It refers to an idea or problem that cannot be fixed, where there is no single solution to the problem. A problem whose social complexity means that it has no determinable stopping point. Crime in Belize is a wicked problem. You know why? Because of the complex interdependencies of so many factors that are driving it. And the effort to solve one aspect of the problem creates other problems. For example, you have a gang mediation, so it means that you're sending an example to children that, okay, even for murderous violence, you can still, exactly, there's still an escape. So I'm just saying, it's complex. But what I will call out is when Karim Musa was in opposition. He had all the answers. And the UDP will do the same thing now. They will have all the answers. Politicians, you do not have the answers, and I want you all to stop lying.
Yeah.
Both sides, stop lying. UDP will send their same tired release.
The one script over and over.
One script over and over. I want you all to say, we do not have the answers. We do not. But the UDP will predictably today say, remove Karim Musa. We got the answers. Here's what you do. Then you do not have the answers. You have to try and work with people, work with the community, work with whoever, the opposition. But you need to approach it in a different way. So, certain things can be called out. There were policing failures. The business of the police officers in the nightclub has to be illuminated. The answer to why there were no specialized units in the village, if our reports are accurate, has to be answered. Yes, there were policing failures. However, we're talking about the entire month of violence. Look at the breakout of violence in the St. Martin's area.
Right.
Unannounced, a state of emergency.
That was where I was
declared
getting
this
at
weekend.
next.
No public disclosure.
And I bet you a lot of our audience members never know that, you know.
Yeah.
No, because, yeah, but
Because it's a secret.
it's only a suspension of the Constitution for these persons. The right to a lawful detention, the right to due process, that has been suspended for citizens of a certain area of our country. But why tell anybody? That if we business,
No,
we
if
run a
you don't-
police state. Man, are you mad?
Living in the area, Jews, that's not your business. You're
Exactly.
supposed to worry about nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it's just, so it's a state of emergency, we're told, anecdotally, meant to target 3 gangs, the Bakalang Crips, the PIV piece in the village, and the BLC. And I'm sorry, Bakatong, Bakalans, and PIV. That's what I'm told.
Yeah.
But there is no public disclosure. I understand a very serious shooting happened early Sunday morning, but that state of emergency went into effect from Saturday morning. No public disclosure. You cannot suspend the constitutional rights of people, which I already have a problem with. Again, which a PUDP thing. PUP say, oh, that alone fool, and then do the same fool, right? I'm just saying, like, just admit we are lost and we have no answers. We are working on it. We are doing the best we can with our very flawed personalities. We, as politicians, are naturally stupid and inclined to quick fix solutions. So no expect the best from we, right? I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, man, and so we have another state of emergency, no declaration. I'm told the minister was at the concert, you see, so.
Well, I've seen a video and all of that. But, Jules, and just moving on, we're talking about narcos, we're talking about crime. No, we have this bill that's about to pass, the marijuana, or the referendum that's coming up. But we all
That's been
know
delayed.
some of the problems surrounding, especially profits coming from marijuana.
Right.
Now, we know one of those problems being that the banks are saying, yeah, what? Your money, that's still an illegal thing. Your money will come through, we know to take it. What's happening in that realm?
It's only been said for 3-4 years from the time John Briceño floated this when he was in the opposition.
Yeah.
He used to make these statements as leader of the opposition, and he said in there they plan to legalize marijuana. Everybody said, yo, this is a problem with the banks, with de-risking. We don't have a problem with de-risking.
Yeah.
This is a problem. But they whistled past the graveyard. No man, it could be a cash business. I don't know about no cash business that is not illicit. Every licit company has to bank their money. It makes it, you imagine you can't sign a check. Hey boy, we need to buy $5,000 worth of supply, $5,000 worth of Fonto leaf, $5,000. You just compare 15 a cash.
Ooh,
I'm
what?
saying that it's, but they kept saying it, and we kept saying every time we would interview Karim Musa. No man, that's no problem, man. Tell the children the truth, brother. You know it's a problem, but you all were just hoping that in your fantasy world, because you have a political fantasy that we shake things up, that we will make it happen. I wish it were the case, but it's not. You have to face reality. So at this late stage now, at this late stage where every warning has been sounded, I had Karim Musa on Uncut. We've interviewed him out in the public. We have brought this up, and every time they said, no. I remember one time he told me, but they've regularized it in Jamaica. Jamaica, nobody will touch that money.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not that simple. And you know, they just kept fueling the illusion when everybody in the banking sector, people in the banking sector reach out to me. So if then they reach out to me, then definitely reach out to them. But they continued to just whistle past the graveyard when finally ghosts meet them at the end of the graveyard. And I said, boy, run back, run back. It's amazing to me. How long can you maintain this sham of an illusion and then wake up one day and say, boy, it look like the bank then got a problem with this. Oh, for real, bro? For real? Oh, the bank got a problem.
I just hope that it doesn't reach the point, Jules, where we have lost our correspondent banking before they meet that ghost they saw.
Yeah, well, I think they saw the ghosts of banking problems of the future, and they immediately ran back to the past. So you know, it's just so much psychic energy has been wasted on this lark, this marijuana lark. That I think it work out, man. It may a catch thing, man. Wanna get serious and stop waste people time. Check the engine first before you say, why that nice vehicle? I like the seat there. I like the seat there. It got smoke release at top. Man, you know how much psychic energy, how much spiritual energy, how much energy has been wasted on this? And then at the end, if it said the same thing that was said 4 years ago, oh, you got a banking problem. No, brother.
Really?
Speaking of checking the engine or someone, moving down the list.
Yes.
This engine that is Moises Cal. When it
Moises
happened?
Cal.
The saga continues.
You know the saga continues, and we get the impression that the Prime Minister's resolve is weakening because, you know, when you really look at the career of Moises Cal, yes, the former chairman of the Public Service Commission was a UDP minister, but he was not a politician.
Right.
So not only is Moises Cal a politician, he's the worst kind of politician. He's a failed politician. He's an abortive politician. He's a politician who tried to run, but had to run from scandal, so he couldn't run. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that I want to be very clear. The worst kind of politician is one who can't even succeed at being a politician, which, as we know, is the lowest profession on earth. So I'm just saying, I mean, if you can't do that, what are your options there? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So, and it's somebody who it does not understand, does not have any intrinsic or deeply held knowledge of how the public service works. And the PSU has called out the government saying, the man does not have the most untainted reputation. When you're chairman of the Public Service Commission, you have to adjudicate matters.
Yes.
One of the allegations against him is that he bribed public officers in Panama. Those public officers were later arrested with large sums of cash in Panama.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
What is most offensive about this, again, the allegation, those are the reports from law enforcement in Panama at the time, I worked on the story, is that he never answered to it. He never gave an accounting. He never came to Belize. If he had come to Belize and said, they make up a lot of things about me, great, that's your narrative. We heard you. He never
answered.
13, 14, 15 years later, he has not answered. And now the Prime Minister wants him to stand as the head of the most important adjudicatory body in the public service. This is at the headwaters of the employment of 14,000 people. Fewer if you take out the open vote workers. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, to stand at the headwaters and stand in judgment, you have to stand in judgment of people. As the chairman of Public Service Commission,
right,
adjudicate matters having to do with public officers. Your reputation, as was Charles Gibson's, has to be spotless. The only mark against Charles Gibson was that he's a minister under the UDP, which is a significant tint. Being a minister in any government is a significant tint. We have to hold that against you. But I'm just saying, I am surprised that the Prime Minister has not resigned from his position, that he continues to go forward. The Public Service Union has recommended 3 upstanding, highly regarded former public officers who are eminently capable and do not have any taint on their name, but it's this thing that only the PUP could do it. Only Nuestra Familia.
Right.
Only that could do it. No,
everybody
man.
everybody for winning. I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's just like there are other people in the country, bro. It's not a country.
We've always said this. Always
they
said this.
recycle the same people over and over, and we have options.
Yes,
Why we not act like we got options?
But because the option must have
Has to
absolute
come from
fealty.
Yep.
Absolute fealty.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the master and commander of the PUP. You must be able to wash the feet.
You must come assembled with strings, man.
Assembled with strings.
You
Just
have to be a
bend down
die-hard
and they
PUP.
pick you up.
I should be
Yeah, and
able
that
to know
makes
if
no
it
sense.
Connect to you. I'm supposed to be
And
able to
remember,
pull a
the
string.
PUP in their manifesto made a commitment to stop this practice, to make the Public Service Commission independent. This is not good governance. This is
love
retrograde.
that.
I'm repeating myself from last week. Make a move
Yes,
on.
moving
Make her
on.
move on.
Belize Food, the International Food and Music Festival, was it a phenomenal first attempt or a flop?
Well, as you know, I ain't the party people, so I have to ask you, Brandon, because
Me
you
stay home this weekend.
I
stay
why
home.
You getting old, bro?
I stay home.
You getting old.
We have somebody we're gone though.
Somebody here that went. Let me scan the room. Is it Renata?
That's me.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so
Let's hear Renata.
So I'm gonna go through based on just like first what I think, and then also what I say people made a post, because there's a lot of people that are posting about
Yeah,
it.
okay.
I know for the first night, I think Belizeans not understand the different type of music.
Okay.
When you go to a concert. So Jules, when you go to a concert, if you have a specific type of music where make you dance, you can expect the crowd for the dance, right? But
Right.
if you have a vibe music, you can't expect the crowd for the dance. You have to
Right.
expect the crowd for just the
Groove.
vibe, the group. Thank you. Coffee. What kind of music Coffee got? Does Coffee have dancehall music or stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
She has much more, like I would have said more vibe. You could dance to it, but they're not like,
Groove, that like one
yes,
next sway. You're good.
exactly. So
People expect for go and dash out, but they
people
never.
expect for Gan dash out too as well. I think honestly the first night when people met Gan, there were some people that were disappointed, but because maybe they went to go and see a specific artist, but they have other artists there too as well. When they sell the type of music. So you go there and you want to go and enjoy yourself to this specific artist. This artist come on for a certain period of time, and now you left for the whole concert for the other people where you never really come to see. So there was that qualm where I see people like said they never enjoy themselves, this at the tired them and have something against the Belizean artists and stuff.
Right.
Again,
That was a
Jules
huge
are Belizean artists. Not all of them are the dancing, whatever. Like, they were dancing to the music, so, but their music per se, they're not always the ones where you could dance to. And so, again, it's a vibe in music.
Right.
It's a music where you go in at the studio, bust a nice track, nice beats, and everything come out good, but necessarily it's not one of the things you go to the club and then they drop it down low with that song.
I got you.
So I think
I
that-
love to drop it down low.
You,
but continue.
I
I have a lot to drop.
People, I
Yeah, but
not
like-
get away with this if I not say this, Jules. You're there up on the couch, and I know me people they want to see this dance.
Oh gosh, oh gosh.
You got
So you want to go and say, I want to drop it down low? You want to start? You want to start it? You want to start?
No, make we continue.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. We are
Continue.
this the next day.
So it's not the most vibe music.
No, so because
That's nice.
You had a tremendous blowback against the local artists.
yes,
Tremendous
So that's what I
blowback.
want to get into, because again, I go back to seeing when you look at Belizean performance and you're trying to compare to international performance, where their music is a bit different from our Belizean performance, you can't try to compare it, because I honestly think a lot of the Belizean artists that come out and they had dancers, they do their thing. I don't know if I'm gonna say Stig, he had his 4 dancers come up, Ernestine had the
Right.
people that come up, they had people coming up. You look at Justin Castillo, his music is not dancing music, it's nice soulful
Yep.
music as well. So you have to understand the music taste, where to go listen to.
So the curation of the event was an issue for you. How it was curated.
Yeah.
Now, in global festivals, how they do this, they have different stages.
Exactly.
I understand with other Belize, resources are finite, but you're saying that you should have different stages,
Yes.
right?
I think so. The reason I think so again is just because people want to hear a specific type of music, but you have to stay for the whole thing to get to your artist. And then especially if you want to listen to an international artist, then they wait at the end.
Somebody asked a very brilliant question. You think we make back the money where we spend?
That really is the only question I'm interested in. Remember, sir, this is nobody's money. Because of your money, how they collect it? One thing called tax. One thing, remember whose money that is?
Yep.
Nobody, because nobody don't care about that. So was it justified, the expenditure of $750,000? We pray the Belize Tourism Board will provide an audit. Most people I spoke to felt that it was not. But I am not fully in
I want to
touch
see
with
the
that
numbers
word.
because
You want to see the numbers?
I do also want it because the thing is, them it is sell. Them it is sell a lot, right? So do I know if they made their 750,000?
We're both nights
No,
crowded.
no, no. But remember
Both nights were
the
crowded,
model.
yes.
This is it. After every concert, promoters sit down and start saying, "Where we make? Who spend this? Who spend that?" This is not necessary.
Yeah.
Because of your money pay for it, they want
Exactly,
tax pay for
exactly.
it. The hotel tax paid for it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that is taxpayers' money. Remember, the Constitution says everything named tax must go into the consolidated revenue
Funds,
fund.
right.
Yeah.
But there is a special carve-out, and it has always been an anomaly, we brought it up before, for the Belize Tourism Board to keep the hotel tax. But that's still a tax, that's still public funds. But so at every concert, at the end of it, the promoters have said, "Oh, boy,
How we do?
we don't make the money. How we do? We broke even. Damn, a lot of time people they in a pain when they
Yep.
bring chronic
Yep.
fast.
Yeah.
They in a pain. That's not necessary because the UDPF. Who cares if they didn't make back the money? That's your loss.
Yep.
And your loss is their gain. Because remember now, the minister had said that what is to be derived from this is a publicity, is a tourism number, intangibles.
Yeah.
No, me not deal with intangibles when they're public funds. If you want to deal with intangibles, you use your money for intangibles.
Right, right.
But when it comes to public funds, I want tangibles, I want deliverables, I want value for money. And I want them to explain, when they compile everything, how they got value for money. I am open to understanding. I am told that on the first night, it was considered not eminently successful, mainly because the headliner, Coffee, came on at 3:30 a.m. and people...
That's my next thing because I don't know. You go vibe out, Jules. You got a concerts now? Okay, I'm just checking because in the States there is a thing too as well where sometimes the concerts don't go on so late. It start about day thing, so it end maybe like around 12 so on. I think
Right.
people we have this atmosphere, this culture, yeah, where we want to put things really late up to the morning. People
But that
tired.
is throughout the Caribbean.
I mean,
you
yes,
will
that's
notice
true. That's true.
he went to law school, which is really he was just a
But
proxy
Jules, the
for
thing
going
is,
to
though,
Sun's
the thing
Flat.
is,
But
especially at
think
UA
about it.
Jamaica, where they introduce new artists, they were on time. They were on time. So if you come on late, you thief yourself a time.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but also I get what you're saying as well because you're party till the morning. But in the Caribbean, it's by time.
Yeah, but so the first night was a disaster with Coffee coming on.
Coffee
at
come on
3:30 a.m.
late. Yes, come on late.
But I mean, we have to move on.
Yes, we have
and
to
this
move on.
last
Move on,
one is
sorry.
very, very interesting.
Here, Papa, for the same right to your
Louis
bestie.
Wade, your friend.
Louis Wade, he is my friend.
Yeah.
He is my friend, and we have a respectful relationship where we can respectfully criticize each other. And you don't have to call the brother out, man.
Holla,
You cannot
holla.
use that word. That word is misogyny. You are already a homophobe. You cannot be a homophobe and a misogynist. Like, that's two flags.
Double whammy.
No, I know he no business and he could handle his own candle. But I have certainly used objectionable words on TV, but some words you can't touch. And you cannot touch a word that seeks to humiliate women and seeks to belittle women and equate women with weakness.
And-
which, as we know,
Renata on Thursday last week after the show we were discussing, and Renata went into details, but you know what? This specific word there, the strengths of this word there, saw?
yeah,
Oh, man.
that word is totally off limits because it is designed to humiliate women. who we all came from one. So that person has to be pretty strong because
Thank
I
you
can't
very
support
much.
2 lives in my body. Do I look like I'm doing it? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying we have to when you disrespect just anthropologically, when you disrespect the replicator, like when really you to talk about who creates God, who creates life, woman. Like you don't sit a relationship, yo. Oh, but we Christian. Okay, okay. We love our creatures and God creates. But then after that, man take over. Man,
must hate a
get out of here, man.
I don't know.
Get out of here. I can't roll with that. And I'm saying this is why I supported Danielle Ortiz as our media representative. Louis Wade does a great job at what he does. He advocates for God. That is his first priority. He's a hardline Christian. Respect to that. He has invested in that. His belief, his passion is intense. I respect that.
Right.
Maximum respect to that. That is his first priority. He was democratically elected by the leader
So you can't say no.
because he is a brilliant man, because he can speak with passionate intensity. But his first priority is God.
God.
Respect to that.
So we
But
want to
I
know
think-
how we are actually phased out with having to represent
No,
the
but
media. at
I'm-
this
Even
point.
Jules,
I'm
the thing
sure
is,
he
I
will
didn't get
do
vexed about
a,
this
a
priority.
completely just job in representing the media.
Good.
I have no criticism of that. But he wears 2 hats. Go
My
ahead.
thing is, what I get on to talk about how his priority that God, but at the same time, when you talk the way you talk, that don't make me feel like you're priority that God. Point blank.
You'd
Because a
speak hate speech.
pastor, point blank, anybody could come at me. I do not care. A pastor not supposed to go out there to call people pussies and wusses. Point
It ain't
blank.
Christ-like.
That is not Christ-like consciousness. So don't
right.
come with that. Because if your agenda is supposed to be God, you're supposed to speak love to people. You don't know no judge. God is the judge. But on that note, let me calm down.
Amen on that.
Amen.
We have
Beautiful, sunrise.
sunrise.
Not
Tuesday tacos done. On
Yes.
eat up.
Spicy.
Yam up.
Courtesy of Auntie Charlotte. So we are fed up with some music because we need to give people some good vibes. That was
So the dance
Tuesday
off
morning,
with the
man.
dress
That
it
was
up. I
Tuesday
like it.
morning. And let's get it, man. Okay.
Hey.
Oh,
Drop it low.
you need to drop it low, Papa.
I'm low already. How low can I go, bro?
Fun.